Welcome to Bleav In 76ers with your hosts, former 76ers point guard Eric Snow and two Sixers fanatics in Marcus and Teja Dash. Bleav In 76ers is presented by BetOnline.AG.
BetOnline remains your number one source for all your basketball betting this season. Get analysis of every play, prop, and point at BetOnline. You'll find the latest odds, team matchups, and game trends at BetOnline. BetOnline is your basketball headquarters this season. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to sign up and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Be sure to use our promo code BLEAV, that's BLEAV, to receive your bonus. BetOnline.AG, where the game starts. Hey guys, welcome to Bleav In 76ers podcast. I'm Marcus Dash here with our host, legendary 76ers point guard Eric Snow, and my brother Teja Dash. Guys, rough one, but I felt like game two that was gonna happen. Obviously you guys predicted that, but were you surprised by how that happened?
No, I even though I picked it to be a little closer, I think it's not surprising to see when the team wins the first game, the second game kind of gets out of hand and they kind of pull back. You can kind of see I don't know if it's a natural reaction to kind of relax a little bit. Then eventually the coaches pull guys out the game fairly early. Same thing happened with the Lakers with Golden State. Like it was almost like identical games from that perspective. So it happens. It happens quite often, especially when the road team wins game one.
Yeah, I feel like it was coming for a while. The whole we already won one. Let's just pack it in and go back to Philly type reaction, and it kind of felt like that was happening. Yeah. But I'm not surprised. But man, I thought Brogdon could shoot from anywhere, and he was going to make it. That's at one point. I was like, man, he just can't miss. They didn't think they could miss. You could just tell. Crazy.
Yeah. By the way, y'all like my roosters up there?
Oh yeah, I love that.
I do love that.
Yeah, I think that my mom passed 10 years ago, so I think that she put those up there when I bought this house for them, which was like 26 years ago.
Wow.
So I think them roosters have been up there 26 years.
That's awesome.
We got a little like an imprint around them. So
yeah, it's no behind them. They go. You take them down, and you can still see the.
Yep, it doesn't matter. They're there until you paint that wall.
Exactly. And the crazy part is, I never really paid attention to them until I kind of picked this spot.
Isn't that funny? Yeah. Well, you're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
We're happy to contribute some, interior design observations.
I like it.
I could move around this house. It's pretty impressive. No, I mean, you guys. I mean, I probably could show you my brother's Lombardi and Buckets awards. That's pretty impressive.
Ooh,
I should have put them.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Next time I'll do that. I'll put them behind me.
Yeah, you have them right behind you.
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny you bring that up. My mom, she went to some yard sale. Some guy was giving away like football cards, and she showed me this this one page with all Chiefs cards. And your brother was in there. It was I don't know if it was his rookie card or it might have been his second year, but it was Percy Snow Chiefs card. Pretty cool. Badass.
Yeah.
But all right, guys. So we kind of touched on game one, but so. We'll get into it a little bit more. So we won without Embiid, and then absolutely got dominated, losing by 34. What were some of the adjustments that you guys saw that Boston made in this one, in game two, that they did from game one?
You can go ahead and go, Teja.
There we go. So what I noticed, it seems like they were okay letting Tucker shoot. He only shot once. It seemed like Brown was the primary defender on Harden like all game this time. Did a good job too. It seemed like they were just trying. What I noticed a couple times, they were trying to force Harden right, and then they did a little switch with the corner man guarding Tucker, he would switch, and the guy guarding Harden, once he got by him, would just go run right to Tucker, whoever's in the corner. And Harden just kind of just didn't know what to do a lot of those times. He was trying to bait the foul, but those didn't get called. Making Embiid guard the three and come out of the lane. Obviously, they shot 51 threes. That was insane.
That was my concern from day one. Yeah,
that was and then generally just more engaged, more intense, picking up full court a lot, which made us, I noticed a lot of times we were setting up our half court offense with like 14, 15 seconds left in the shot clock, which is, it adds up. That's a big deal. And then they were just going for every rebound, man, whether they got it or not. And just generally, they just trying to turn it up on all facets of the game.
Yeah, I mean, they made some subtle adjustments, but to me, the one that really we're going to have to find an answer to was, like Teja said, was the matchup. Putting bigger, long guys on James, quicker, smaller guys on Maxey. We didn't really throw Joel down low, so we don't really know how they'll do that. They kind of competed with him and kind of tried to play one-on-one. If they're not going to double him, he's going to have to make them double if he can, because that changes the dynamic of our team. We don't play faster with him. I think in game one we were playing faster, and we don't do that with him. But I do think that was an adjustment that they made when knowing that he was playing or finding out he was playing, was they decided to play faster. I mean, we were scoring. They were pushing that ball and shooting threes and pushing and driving. Like, they pushed the tempo. So then when they have it going and they're making shots, especially guys outside of Tatum and Brown, they tend to take more threes, play more intact and attack more. When those guys were making those shots, and the court just seemed so wide. It just seemed like it was just wide open shot after wide open shot. But I do think that the major adjustment was the matchups. So if they're going to put Brown on James, one, it helps on switches. You have a bigger guy helping switching when we set a pick and roll with a bigger guy. They now have a bigger guy defending our big. But then I also think it helps putting a smaller guy on Maxey, and finally with the matchup changes, like you said, them changing their rotations. Now you put in faster guys in the rotation. So all of your smaller guys are all now in the rotation. So as soon as you kind of double or give them attention, the guy that would usually be open, you kick that ball out. Now they're rotating from a wing, from a quicker guy, and they're able to maybe not take shots away, but they're able to recover to make you think about whether you're open and whether to take that shot. And they're dictating who that guy is that's catching the ball. So we got a phone call here, and
landline.
What do they call it? Landlines. I don't even have those anymore. So now I got a phone ringing, and it talks to me too. It tells you who's calling and all kind of crazy stuff.
Man.
But anyway, yeah, that's it. So see, it's talking. It's like the voicemail's like people were like talking in the background, like listen to it. They're like living the message like out loud. Like they still have those, I guess. So yeah, that's I can't get past that the matchups. And I don't know if they would have, not necessarily, I don't know. It would have been interesting to see how that would have played out if Joel didn't play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like how we would have been able to manipulate that. So
yeah.
That's kind of the point Barkley made after game 2, was that he said that by Joel playing kind of what you're saying, and by Joel playing this game, they were able to kind of move the ball fast and kind of take advantage of that, of him trying to go up and down the court. Do you think he shouldn't have played in game 2?
I kind of said what I said our last show. And after seeing him play, to me, it's two sides. I think if he's not going to get better, meaning like if waiting 2 more days is not going to make it any better, you come out, you got a 1-0 lead, you come out and you get a feel for playing so you can be better acclimated for game 3. And game 3 wouldn't be your first game and you're trying to figure it out. Use game 2 to try to figure it out how you can be most effective. So from that perspective, I say it was, maybe you let him get out there. If this was a situation that was like you're healing and 2 more days would have taken you to another level, then I would have said you wait. So him playing, in my opinion only, tells me that this isn't something that's going away. Yeah. That he wanted to kind of get a feel and play, and is every other day, see how he'll feel in 2 days so he knows.
Yep.
So that's what him playing told me.
And at least now we know what their plan with him on the court is.
Yeah, and then you can plan on how you want to use him. It may be restricted minutes, but it may be certain minutes against certain guys or certain times that, you kind of manipulate that and try to figure out a plan. But some of it you couldn't really figure out until you kind of knew what he could do. I mean, he was effective on the defensive end at the rim.
Yeah.
So now you got to make that adjustment. So if they're on the shoot and pick and pop and from 3, figure out different kind of rotations where you don't extend him as much. So playing allows you to make those adjustments, where not playing, you just still want to figure it out, but you don't really know. Where now you have some answers that you can make decisions on.
Plus, it's almost like we watched them get reacclimated to all playing together again. Like they seemed not to be on the same page.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. Like that's the part that I want people to understand. Is like you win the game without him. Like we won the game without him, but it wasn't like we won it because he didn't play. We just won a game that he wasn't playing in. But when he comes back, he's the number one option. So some guys that when he's not there will maybe come down and play and take quick shots. You just don't do that naturally when he's there. So guys do play a little more guarded and different than they would if he wasn't playing. So you find where guys will defer, you find where guys will force feed, you see where guys will force it. So it's not really like figuring it out. Like they know how to do it, but it's like, okay, I had a little rhythm the last game, and should I go for it or not? Some of that is on Doc.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that is on Doc and his staff to make it a point of, guys, stay aggressive. You did a good job of the last game. I need you to be that way. We'll bring Joel along slowly. Or, guys, we're going to see where he's at, then boom, we'll come back to you. Because the last game, James was flaming in the first quarter. You would think, see where you at. Or go back to how was it all season. Kind of go with the flow. See if this is something you're going to stay aggressive or, we full throttle ahead. Sometimes you just don't know.
Do you think they made a mistake in kind of going – it seemed like they went right back to like regular season Sixers game plan. Do you think they made a mistake in not just playing how they've been playing as a team, but adding Joel to it and he'll find his role as he gets – maybe more acclimated to game speed?
Teja, to be honest with you, like I really don't know. Like, because I think it really comes down to how significant his injury really is. I think it really comes down to that. I think him playing, and not necessarily him playing, but how does he feel today? How did he feel yesterday? You know what I'm saying? So that tells you a lot. So if they're saying, you know what, he played, but he feels great, he feels stronger, feels better, feels more stable, then you're like, okay, well, we can increase that load. But if he's like flat or worse, you're like, we got to do something a little different here.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to say without really knowing the condition.
And that game wasn't a great
and
tell.
we're not finding out the condition until not even the game starts, but as the game goes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that game wasn't even enough because he played 26 minutes and we were blown out by the third quarter.
26 minutes that didn't really feel like 26 minutes.
No.
Yeah, it didn't.
So kind of carrying over to that for our next topic, talking about Embiid and kind of speculating on where he'll be at in this injury tonight. So some are calling it the shake off the rust game is what they're calling it Wednesday night. But how much rust is there? So my question to you guys is, on a scale of 1 to 100, 100 being MVP Joel, and then what he was on Wednesday, what do you think he'll be in Game 3? I Bleav yesterday they said he was questionable to play, but I think all signs are pointing to him playing tonight. So
what do we think he was on Wednesday, and then what do we think he'll be tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he'll be similar. I don't, like I said, based on him playing the last game, it's, in my opinion, is my belief that this injury isn't going anywhere anytime soon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think he'll be enough to be effective to help us win. I do not expect to see the guy that dominates scoring 30-plus points a game. I just don't expect to see that, which means that there's other ways that he can dominate and still help us win. But what we have from the other guys and scoring and doing more will be it for us to win.
Yeah.
Because it's not in my opinion on talent, is my opinion on his injury.
I will say he showed he had some explosive moments where I was like, oh, okay. You feel pretty good. Yeah. That was encouraging.
The one thing with the injuries are sometimes that I've playing with injuries, sometimes the explosion wasn't the issue. It was the stopping and initiating and going and jumping and landing, especially with lower extremity injuries. You can actually sometimes pick up speed, but it's like, you know how you run it and all of a sudden it takes you a minute to stop, or stop on a dime and then cut, or to make that sudden change and sudden explosion up. Those are the things that where it's harder.
Also, he looked really uncomfortable with that brace. Do you think that's the first time he put that brace on? Because in his shoot-arounds, they never showed him with it.
Yeah,
I never saw it with it on.
I would think that he put it on and tried to run with it.
I would hope so, yeah, because he didn't.
But that doesn't. But you can work out with it, run with it, but that still doesn't make it comfortable.
No. Yeah, yeah. But I expected to see him wearing it during his shoot around just to get your basketball. It's like putting
shooter. If you're not really going to run, the shoot around really doesn't matter. I mean, it's really about the running in it. So it just walking around and playing in it it's a different feeling. So that's not really going to help you get it more just accustomed to it.
But just even walking with it, I saw him not trip over himself a couple of times, but his foot when he'd walk, that leg would get it would hit the ground when he'd walk. I'd be like, he doesn't look right at all. I'd say if I had to put a number 2 at 65% on Wednesday, and I have the same reaction, I think he'll be around the same. I honestly think it's hard for him to prove while he's playing. If he was going to sit out, yeah, maybe he'd make some more progress, but if he's playing every other night, it's wear and tear every night, and it's pretty much going to be, I think, at this level for the rest of the playoffs. I don't think he can get better from here on out if he's playing on it. Especially not getting an extra day of rest while traveling. What the hell is with that, by the way? Why couldn't we play tomorrow?
Based on that, remember I said it back then. It was based on when the tournament, when the series started. So so when we were talking about, hey, let's start on Mondays better than Saturday, I was like, well, wait a minute. Starting Saturday, you can stretch that series out. Like you look at Denver, and they started in Phoenix started Saturday, 2 days before us, and they played tonight with us in game. We're both in game 3. And they started 2 days before us.
That seems crazy.
And I think New York had like a 4-day layover, right?
They're in game 3 tomorrow.
Yeah.
And their first game was before us.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
Well, I mean, where everybody's going to end at the same time. But the earlier you start, the more days you have off in between.
Yeah, the 2 series that got screwed over was Golden State and Lakers. I think Lakers have 13 days in total of their series. Our series is 14 days in total for the series.
But their series started a day after ours because Golden State had a game 7.
So they have to catch up.
Yeah. So Golden State hasn't had more than 2 days off since game 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Well, luckily, there's not a lot of travel really for either of those teams. Really going.
They haven't left the state.
That's true.
Yeah. And then Boston and Philly is pretty close too. So it's not a huge travel. It's annoying.
Well, hopefully Doc can make some adjustments after what he saw in game 2. If Embiid is going to be around the same, hopefully he can make some adjustments based on what he saw from Embiid. And have a nice little mix, a nice little balance of what we saw from game 1 and game 2, and put that together for a nice home victory tonight.
Yeah, I hope so.
So next topic. So we obviously don't want to be all doom and gloom on the show after what we saw game 2, because remember we did win game 1, so let's be positive a little bit. But Joel did win MVP, and he's being presented with the award Friday night in Philly, the first MVP since Iverson, and the 5th Sixer of all time, joining Dr. J, Moses, Wilt, and AI. So. Just to have some fun with this. What was your favorite moment, Embiid moment from the season? I'll go just to get things started here. My moment might be one of your guys's, but our Saturday Saturday mid-afternoon primetime win against Denver, the 126-119 win. The first place Nuggets. Yeah, Jokic versus Embiid in that one. But we were down 15 at halftime in that one. Embiid ended up with 47 points, 18 boards, 5 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. In that one. So, yeah, just an all-around great game, the comeback aspect, and just the totally dominating the game and just taking it over in that fourth quarter especially. So, that was my MVP moment from Embiid.
Yeah, that was, to me, that was, I was going to say the same thing. That's sort of the signature moment of the season. It was obviously, it was a great game, but it was who they were playing, who they beat, the circumstances with the MVP. So, that made it a signature game for him. I just couldn't think of anything that was bigger than that one for this season.
I had 3 just in case you guys took mine. Marcus took one of them. I had also the game winner versus Portland was awesome.
Yeah.
For a moment. But as far as game goes, I chose the besides the Denver one, I chose the Boston 52 game 1, just because I just felt like that put his odds shot up after that game. That's what everyone was like. Even naysayers were like, all right, he got it. It was like, all right, well, we're gonna leave him alone. He's got it. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
I just thought that was such a dominant late performance against another division rival foe, who we're facing now. So yeah, that was mine.
You said you had 3 moments?
He said 3.
Oh, so the Blazers game was the third one?
The third one was the one we picked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Denver. Yeah. I mean, that's hard to argue against. I mean, dominant against the other MVP candidate. I mean, that's another great comeback. It was more of a team thing. Was the Milwaukee Bucks game was awesome, but
that was, to me, that was like more of a James game.
That was probably James' crowning moment for the season, to be honest. Well, besides his playoff win without Embiid, but regular season, it probably is. Yeah. As a team too, I think that was also just a really great victory for us.
Yeah. I think collectively, if you look at the Grizzlies game, was also another one where we that was also
we had a lot of huge comebacks this year.
Yeah.
Hopefully we have more in store for us. So hopefully we don't get down by that much in any of these upcoming games in Boston.
Well, I was gonna say we just didn't. This time we benched everyone. We had to rely on. By the way, our third stringers played pretty good. They actually played with more consistency, and they played some minutes against some of those Boston starters.
Yeah.
They played all right.
Yeah.
Maybe Furk gets some more minutes.
It was cool that Embiid did give Furk a shout out during his MVP presser. Because that's the longest tenured player on the team right now that he's played with. So it was cool that he gave him some love in the press conference.
That's cool.
Do you think, you were there when the last time we were given an MVP in Philadelphia? I mean, just talking about, we're going to get to the game predictions in a second here, but do you think there's going to be kind of this kind of energy? Obviously, it's energy in a playoff game, but kind of an added energy boost in the building tonight with this MVP presentation?
Yeah, yes, but yes and no. I say yes because it's Game 3, it's the playoffs, it's Boston, and people are going to be enthusiastic about that, and the announcement, they're going to be happy and ready for it. But I think that the way they announce it and it's on NT is not before a game, some of the enthusiasm is gone now. Whereas I believe when we did it, it was people were just finding out that day that they announced it. So it's different. Especially if a guy's still playing, you know what I'm saying? So we didn't have all of the information so early in advance before the presentation. If you know what I mean, just the information that you get before, kind of it's different than getting that information, getting the trophy all at the same time.
Yeah. You mean it peaked already?
Yes.
We're just we're just doing this. We'll have a little down.
Yeah.
It's lost its luster a little bit.
I did like the live unveiling. I thought that was cool because nowadays Twitter just ruins every like big surprise. So at least they just try to kind of incorporate a viral, social media announcement while, we're watching them. I thought that was better than just seeing Woj tweet it from his phone. There's just no excitement there.
Yeah, you're referring to Twitter ruining the NFL draft and the NBA draft, so you can go there to see all the picks before.
I don't look at my phone during the NFL draft because of that stuff. It just ruins it.
It does suck. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Iverson went off for 50 plus points the day he was when they gave him the trophy before that playoff game. I think he had 52 that game. It was against
Toronto in the second round. Then
it was against Toronto. Yeah. I believe that was the 52-point performance. I think I saw someone tweet about that night.
So that was game 2 or game 5?
Are you looking it up, Teja?
Yeah. Give me a second. Okay, career playoffs.
Be nice if Embiid has something similar to that, but I doubt it with his knee situation.
Toronto. It was game 2 or no? Yeah. Game 2. I'm not sure about the day he got it, but he had 54 points in game 2.
Okay, he had 50 another game too. Game 5, I think.
Yeah, game 3, 4, 5. Game 5, he had 52. He had 54 in game 2 and 55 in game 5.
I believe it was game 5 then. Was when the presentation was done.
Okay.
I knew the games that he had the 50 plus.
Yeah, good job, man. One of those was a close game. One of those was an absolute blowout. Game 5 wrecked them.
5 was a blowout?
5 was a blowout. Won by 33.
Damn.
Yeah. Interesting.
Well, hopefully we have some of that tonight, some of that MVP magic tonight. So we're going to lead to our predictions here. So game 3 at Philadelphia, the line opened up as Sixers as a 1-point underdog, and I didn't know if that was tied to Embiid being questionable for this game, but right now I looked, we are now a 2.5-point underdog at home tonight, which is very interesting. I think maybe people are buying into the domination on game 2, maybe think that's just going to carry over. I don't know. But I'm curious to hear what you guys got for this game, the prediction and what you guys are looking for tonight.
We're going to win. So, yes, that settles that we're. We can't. I guess we're going to. If we're an underdog, then and we win. So that answers both for me.
I think we're going to lose tonight.
Oh, it was
Damn.
I have a bad feeling about it, man. I have a bad feeling about it.
negative Nelly over there.
I know,
Terrible.
man. I mean, how honest do you guys want me to be here? Yeah, I'm supposed to be honest, right? I mean,
Yes, but you honestly think we're going to lose today?
yeah, I think so. I have a bad feeling about tonight. I don't like the spread either. I didn't like the spread in this game too. Remember, I said it's kind of asking people to kind of jump on Philly if you make it a -9. Because if you made it double digits opening, then it's like, oh man, double digits, you guys just lost. But you make it -9. I don't know. Underdogs at home, it's just against a team you split with already. It's just a bad. I don't know. It's just a bad. I do like that people are jumping on Boston. That's good. But I just don't like that. If you want people to take Boston, right?
So Boston has been favored all 3 games.
Yep.
Yes. In my opinion, personally, if you wanted people to jump on Boston and if Vegas wanted to trick people into taking Boston, you'd make them the underdogs by like even 1 point. +1 Boston would get everybody on Boston. Granted, it sounds like everyone's jumping on Boston anyway, since it went from 1.5 to 2.5. So
1 to 2.5.
1 to 2.5. So it's still working, but I think it would tip their hand a lot more if they made it plus anything Boston. Plus points Philly, taking the home team plus points. Just I don't know. I have a bad feeling about it.
Have you looked at the public betting, the percentage on it?
No, I haven't yet. I'll do it right now.
I have to imagine it's pretty big if it's jumped 1.5 points.
Yeah, you think so?
I know percentage of bets is like 57% of the bets are on Boston tonight. 43% is on the Sixers. So that's just percentage of bet. That's not where the money is.
It got to be Joel's injury, because no way that we would come home and be an underdog in Philly if he was healthy.
Yeah.
Even if we were down 0-2.
This would be the game we'd win, yeah, if we were down 0-2. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this would be, yeah.
So game 1, we were an 11-point dog. Game 2, it was a 9. It was between 9.5, 10, and 8.5, I think, before game time. And
that's what I'm saying. So we're down like that on the road, because they didn't think Joel was playing, and now they've seen he's playing and kind of sees injury, so they have us underdog, and they just, made a smaller amount.
Yeah, I'm with Eric on that.
64% of the bets are on Boston, and 64% of the money is on Boston.
Okay, so people are buying that.
That's what's gone up. Yeah,
that makes sense. So people are buying into the 34-point loss and Embiid's injury.
Yeah, people are like, hell, -2 for a team that just won by like 100 points. I mean, why not?
Not people. Teja.
People like Teja, like-minded Tejas.
Hey, I'm not betting on it though. I like it. I just have a bad feeling. Yeah, I don't know.
But you're basing your
I
opinion.
can see us going into. I just see us going into game 4 down 1-2 in a desperate win at Philly.
I see us needing to win both home games, and
we do need to win both home games. I agree with you there. We need to.
And I think we need to win 3.
And I'm just not sure how much you can adjust some of the problems we're having. Embiid's injured; he can't get out.
I mean, if you're saying that, that's not going to be different in game 4.
Yeah, I mean,
so
I
have
think
to win somehow, some kind of way.
True, but you live by the 3, you die by the 3. I think sometimes they'll be shooting 40%. Sometimes we'll shoot 30%. We'll win the 30% game. We'll lose the 40% game. So
that's assuming that we're shooting and playing well. You know what I'm saying? Like
true. I don't think we'll shoot 6-20 again.
Hopefully, I'm just thinking the urgency is extremely high. That we got one at home. I mean, we got one on the road. All we had to do was win home games. And we're going to the conference finals against a 4th or a seed.
Yeah.
And we can have home court advantage for the rest of the playoffs.
I know, man.
So
we're so close.
hopefully that urgency is there.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at it. Is that probably our worst shooting, worst 3-point game of the season, right? 6 of 30. I mean,
I would hope we haven't been worse, but
You probably have to look at some of our worst like scoring games, and that would probably correlate to it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I also think too, also with the betting, I think people and all these talking heads are also talking about it too, which contributes to a lot of this stuff. People bet, but it's like everyone thinks that Harden's game 1 was a fluke, and we're not going to see that again. And then Embiid's injured, so if you're not going to see Harden's 45-point performance again, you're not going to see Embiid playing 100%. Then there you go. Boston's going to continue to do what they did. But I just think their shooting percentage.
Most of those people probably picked Boston to win.
Yeah. So they're trying to contribute to why they picked it that way.
Yeah.
We're also probably not going to see Tatum score 7 points in the game either.
Yes.
Whatever he scored.
Yeah, but we're also not going to see them continue to shoot this at this clip that they're shooting at. What's that? They lost game over. They still shot 58%.
Tatum had 7 points and they blew us out.
Yeah.
So
that
can have something to do with it too.
Yeah.
But it's only one ball, so he getting more shots. Someone else is not. So.
Yeah.
But shooting, 51 threes, man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
That percentage is down. It's got to come down at some point. You can't be shooting the way they are both games and continue this in Philadelphia. And the environment that in this environment that we're gonna have tonight, hopefully the fans can.
It's called play better defense, guys. Too.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, hopefully Game 3 goes our way, and
Hopefully I'm wrong.
So Game 4 is Sunday then, because it's a 1-day split.
Yep.
All right. So let's pick
Game 4. I don't think it's 2 days until between 5 or 6 or 6 and 7.
6 and 7.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. So let's pick Game 4 before we get out of here. Then.
I'm just saying we're winning both.
I like it.
We'll win Game 4.
So Teja's 1-1 for us in the next 2 games. Eric's 2-0 for us in the next 2 games. I'm Team Eric on this one.
Yeah, I bet you. I'm Team Eric too.
I said we're going to win in 6, so we win.
I'm rooting for Eric's picks.
Yeah, we win 3-4, lose 5, win 6.
I like it.
In our home games.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully that happens. All right, well, that does it for us, guys. Thanks for tuning in to Bleav In 76ers podcast. We'll see you guys on Tuesday, as hopefully we are going into a 3-1 at that point.
Yes.
And that would be Game 5 that night. The Tuesday would be Game 5 then. Every other day. So yeah. Woo. Hopefully we got 3-1 going into that game on Tuesday. So
we're gonna feel really, really good by our next show, or pretty bad.
If it's 2-2, I wouldn't be feeling bad about that. If it is 2-2, I wouldn't feel bad.
Yeah,
about
I wouldn't feel bad.
But he talked the spirit into it with all this negativity.
Yeah, Teja is the negative guy on the show. When we get YouTube commenters talking about how negative we are, they're talking about you, buddy. I hope you know that.
It's fine. I'll own it. I'm rooting for your picks though, so that's good.
All
right, guys. I hope you guys have a good weekend. And Eric, tell Darius congrats. I'll send him a DM on Twitter.
All right, take it easy.
All right, see you guys.